What's up, everybody? This is Terminator Juice, and this is going to be kind of a one-off video. Now, to my subscribers, you've heard me. I talk about movies every once in a while. To anyone that's watching this video, you're not a subscriber. Mainly, this YouTube channel is for discussing video games and the video game industry. So, if you stumbled across this video based on the title, if you don't subscribe, if you're not into video games, that's cool. But yeah, so for those that don't know me, I go by the name Terminator Juice here on YouTube. It's my gamer tag, and I'm a big audio and video file. I have my dedicated home theater, like truly dedicated, where I actually bricked over windows, to have a fully dark room. And I'm very passionate about movies and picture and sound quality. So I have a collection of Blu-rays, which I started late 2007. I got my first Blu-ray player on Black Friday, and I've been collecting Blu-rays ever since. Upgrading some from DVDs slowly, and then buying new movies as they came out. So I'm running out of space on my in my stands, my bookshelves or whatever, and so I'm kind of like trying to find room. I'm pulling out old DVDs, and I just kind of was looking at my Blu-rays and was like, why do I have these movies? Like, so there's more than five, but I picked the top five movies that I am the most ashamed / embarrassed to own. And there'll be different reasons why I put them on the list. I factored in how much I paid for it, and if I got it for free or something, I didn't include it. So like an honorable mention, if I had paid for this movie, it'd probably been in my top five. But someone gave that to me back when I got my Blu-ray player. They bought a PS3 and didn't want it, so they gave it to me. Another one that probably would have made the list. Paid $5 for this new sealed, and it's got some. Katy Perry's got some good music. She's kind of old news now. The movie itself is just interesting. I'm not super ashamed to have it for only $5, but it's a little embarrassing. But the list, you'll see once I reveal, and I'm gonna start at number five, the movies that I'm most ashamed or embarrassed, and I'll go over why that is, briefly. So let's start with number five, and this is one of those. I'm an audio file. Like, I'll buy a movie if I think it's gonna have great sound, and if I think it's gonna have great picture. So number five is Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Terrible movie, makes no sense, just so ridiculous. But I bought it because it was the latest greatest, Blu-ray that's gonna have, I think it's 7.1 surround sound. I just I had upgraded my receiver to the DTS HD and the Dolby True HD decoding. So I wanted a movie to showcase it, but looking back now, I could throw that movie away right now and will never even think twice about it again. It's just one of those things. I wanted it to be good. I seen it in the theater. I kind of thought it was better than the first one, but now watching it over and over, not over and over, but having watched it a couple more times and years have gone by, why do I have this movie? So number four, and this one's, most people might even not even heard of it, So it's The Spirit, and again, I think I paid full price for this damn thing. Maybe it was $15. Terrible movie, but it was shot in black and white, and 1080p, and it had good 7.1, because I think it's Lionsgate that published it. Yeah, and it was like one of the first like 7.1. Again, because I had wanted to have a demo disc for my theater room, and if you've ever put money into a surround sound setup, you'll find yourself buying movies that you normally wouldn't because you've heard they had good sound. But yeah, I don't ever want to watch this movie again. Like, it's bad, and Scarlett Johansson looks great in it. Eva Mendes looks great, but it's not a good movie. I don't think I could watch that movie again. So just one of those things. Like, that one's not embarrassed. I'm just ashamed that I had spent money on that movie for the reasons I did. And looking back at it now, it's not a good movie. So the next one, At number 3 is I Am Number 4. Again, not a great movie. I just think this one was on sale on Amazon, if I'm trying to remember. I needed another movie to get free shipping back before I was a Prime member. And I was like, you know what? I'll take a chance on this movie. It's got, what's her name? Teresa Palmer. You know, it can't be all that bad. It's that bad. That one's just strictly embarrassment. I wouldn't want to, even though I'm announcing it to whoever could watch, a million people could see this or 100, I don't know, but it's one of those movies that definitely ashamed and embarrassed. So number 2, and now this one hurts because I was really excited about this movie, and he was one of my up and coming favorite directors at the time, and that's Sucker Punch. Zack Snyder. After The Watchmen, I was really looking forward to his next movie. I saw like all the fantasy stuff, and it just looked so cool in the trailer. So I went to the midnight showing, and I was trying to convince myself that I liked the movie. So again, come out on Blu-ray, and some of these line up like I upgraded my receiver, and I felt like buying movies that had 7.1 surround sound, and this one was, I got a 1080p TV right before, and I was like, I need a new movie, and it's just one of those things. I paid full price for this movie, $24.99 plus tax. It's like $26, and it is a terrible movie. Zack Snyder, I don't know what he was thinking. He wrote it. The story was terrible. There's like 2 layers of dreams, sequences, and basically the girl's getting raped in a mental hospital, and it's terrible. Like, I could never watch that movie again. And then the rub the salt in the wound, it isn't the best like demo disc for sound. Like, it wasn't even close to being great for showing off like a new TV or good surround sound. It was okay, but compared to the other movies that were out at the time, it was so bad. It was mediocre at best, and I'm like, why do I have this movie? I paid $26 for this. But yeah, that one is definitely ashamed that I own that movie. I knew better, and then not too long after that, it's in the bargain bin for like $6.99 or $7.99 at Walmart. Yeah, that was a bad one. So, but nothing can top the number 1, and this is almost a guilty pleasure movie for me. On its own, if there was never another one made after it, I think I'd still think, yeah, it's just a guilty pleasure. And I bought this, and I gotta admit, didn't even have a girlfriend at the time, and that's Twilight. The first one. I don't own the rest, otherwise all of them would have been on this list. I got caught up at work. All the girls were talking about it that I worked with. I don't work only with women, but everyone was talking about how they loved the movie, and I was like, I'll check it out, and I paid full price for this damn thing, $19.99, and I didn't mind it. I thought it was an okay movie. I actually watched it a second time with somebody, and I was like, yeah, this isn't too bad. And Kristen Stewart, I always found her attractive. It wasn't until the sequels came out, and I went with my mom to see the second one, whatever it was called, and it was so bad that I immediately regretted having this on my shelf. And then the third movie my girlfriend made me watch at the time, and I've never watched another one after it. But I still have this movie. It's bad. It's worse, way worse now than it was before. I was on FX or Sci-Fi or something not too long ago, and that baseball scene, it's bad. But at the time, I thought it was kind of okay, and then it was like a guilty pleasure. But now, this is just straight up, I'm embarrassed that I have this movie. And again, just like most of them, if not all of them, I could just throw these in the trash and never think twice about them, except I'm a collector, and I have trouble getting rid of things. So it's like, I have it, and only when I'm absolutely out of space on my bookshelf will I get rid of these movies. And it's like, I forgot I had The Spirit. I knew I had Twilight. You can't forget that one. I Am Number 4, completely forgot I owned that movie till I was looking through my collection. I had the idea for this list, and it's like, why do I have these? I'm like thinking to myself, trying to remember what made me buy it. Transformers 2 was obvious. It was a big deal, and it was a IMAX. It had the IMAX stuff, just like the Dark Knight. So it was like full screen, looked amazing, and it does have good picture quality. The sound, they rushed that movie. The third Transformers actually is an amazing demo disc still to this day. Not the best movie, but great demo disc. But anyway, what are some embarrassing movies or things you own? Let's just stick with movies. And I have a whole bunch of DVDs. I could have done a top 20 DVDs like I'm embarrassed or ashamed that I own. But I figured I'd stick with Blu-ray. And yeah, so list some down below if you're willing, if you have the guts to admit some movies that you own, and it doesn't count if your wife bought it or your girlfriend bought it, like something you actually spent your money on. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this. Hopefully you guys found this entertaining. And like I said, for those that stumbled across this that aren't subscribers of mine, this is mainly a video game discussion channel. So if you came here for movies and not going to really get much more of that, maybe some videos sporadically throughout the year. But yeah, so anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time.